Hello everybody. I'm going to introduce myself here. My name is Joe, or Joey actually. Everybody calls me Joe. Unless of course you're one of my CB radio customers, then I'm known as Red Eagle. I do repair CB radios. That's pretty much what I do these days. I apologize for the lighting, guys. I don't think it's going to be that great in this video, but I'll tell you up front, I'm not a movie maker, filmmaker. I'm a CB radio repair guy, and more importantly for this video or this channel, I'm I guess what really a lot of people would call a homesteader. I never thought of it as being homesteading, you know, what I do. To me, it's just a way of life. It's something that I've always done. It's a lifestyle. It's the way I grew up. It's what my dad did. It's what my granddad did. It's what I still do. Not to the extent that they did, but nevertheless, I still do it. Just wanted to kind of give you a rundown, a quick rundown on what you can expect to find on this channel in the future. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about farming and chickens and pigs and goats, you know, whatever, homesteading, living off the land, herbs, all that kind of thing is interesting to me. But it never dawned on me that what I do and what I have always done, the information that's up here might be useful to somebody. Because to me, growing up the way I did, to me it's just common knowledge. I'm one of those people that think if I know it, then everybody else does too. That's one of my shortcomings. But I was actually born and raised in the southern Appalachian Mountains, or in the Appalachian Mountains of North Georgia. So I do have that strong southern drawl, or Appalachian accent, whatever you want to call it. I am definitely southern, no question about that. And you know, for example, some of the things that you'll hear in my videos is instead of saying tomato, I grew up calling them maters. And instead of saying potato, I grew up calling them taters. So if you hear me talk about maters and taters, you know what I'm talking about. I guess I could put a little more effort into speaking more properly. But quite honestly, I don't see the need. I am who I am. I've never changed for anybody before, and I don't really see a need to right now, because you're probably not going to visit my channel to hear how proper or how educated I speak. Which, by the way, I do not have a lot of education. I have a high school education, but that's pretty much it. But that doesn't make any difference. I know what I know, and I do what I do because the way I was raised and brought up. But anyway, some of the things that you'll find in this channel in the future will be simple things. Things that a lot of people take for granted. I know I have. But like I said earlier, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you know, I see in a lot of the videos where, you know, these people that are making the videos, of course, they have a brand new Kubota tractor or a brand new $3,000 wood splitter. You know, maybe a $400 or $500 or more incubator, you know, that they're putting their hatching eggs in, setting eggs. that kind of thing. I don't have those things. I've never had those things. Not to say that that I wouldn't enjoy those things if I had them, but I don't have them. But I still get things done without all the expensive and nice equipment and everything. It's great if you can afford it. If you can afford it and that's what you want, by all means do it. I have nothing against it whatsoever. Nothing. It's just simply that I can't afford it, so I don't have it. So basically, these videos that I put out here, they're going to pretty much tell you or help you along the way on growing your garden, growing chickens for meat and eggs, very possibly growing pork, hogs to have pork, how to make a lot of things, how to get a lot of things done without big expensive equipment, because it's doable. I know it is because I've done it all my life. My grandfather, he came all through the 1900s. Dad was born in 1925 in North Georgia. So my granddad, when he went to work every day, he got up in the morning, he ate breakfast, and he went out the door and walked out into his field or his garden or his barn or his chicken coop or whatever, and he was at work. That's what he did. He stayed there on his farm, and he worked his farm and provided for his family through doing so. So they pretty much grew the vegetables that they needed. They raised the meat that they needed. They butchered their own meat. Anything that they couldn't grow or raise or butcher on the farm, salt, sugar, that kind of thing. They sold enough eggs or they sold enough chickens or whatever the case, and they saved their pennies, literally. And, once ever so often they'd go into town, buy sugar, buy flour, that kind of thing. And I'm not talking about going to that extreme. If you want to, that's certainly fine too. But that's how my dad was raised. He worked in the fields with my granddad. Together they produced what the family had, and they produced what the family ate. It was a way of life for them. That's the only life they knew. My dad, as he got older, he went off to war. He was in World War II. Actually, he was a machine gunner in the Philippines and over in that area. Lucky that he actually came back home being a machine gunner. My granddad, he was in World War I. My oldest brother was in Vietnam. And somehow or other I missed out on all of it. But anyway, when my dad came home from the Army, he went to work in, I can't remember if the first job he got when he come back was either at a sawmill or in a cotton mill, one or the other. But anyway, he went to work, and he worked to provide for his family as long as he could. Then he became disabled, had some back issues, and doctors wouldn't let him work. They said he wasn't physically able to hold a 5-day-a-week regular job, so they put him on disability. So I grew up on roughly $400 a month for me, my mother, and my dad. That's what we had to live on. So naturally, anything that could be raised in the garden or on the farm meant that they didn't have to spend that much money to buy it at the store. So gardening and meat production, that kind of thing, it again became a big part of our life. or his life. And then I was about 6, I believe, when Daddy was disabled. So from a very early age, I remember not having money. And I remember working in the garden. I remember feeding the chickens. I remember helping to butcher chickens. I remember very vividly, very well, helping to butcher hogs, what we call hog killing day. I always look forward to hog killing day. I guess that probably sounds strange to a lot of you, but I did. I always look forward to it because that was a day that all the family came together, extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles, all that. They all came and pitched in and helped. And at the end of the day, when the meat was all processed and cut up and pretty well taken care of, the family all, went back to their own homes and took a portion of the meat with them. I mean, that was their payment for coming to help, of course. But I remember that in my younger days. As a matter of fact, we actually butchered a hog here about two years ago, I believe it was. We actually butchered a big hog here. So I still know how to do it. I still remember how to do it. Can still do it, and we have another one actually that is ready for butcher now. I don't know if we'll get to him before next winter or not. If we don't, well, we need to, but whether we will or not, I don't know. So anyway, background on me: I grew up poor. I learned how to do all these things out of necessity and because my daddy said go do that. When you're raised in the deep south and your daddy says go do that, son, trust me, you go do it. After you don't go do it a time or two, you learn really quick that when daddy says go do this, you go do it. So anyhow, to get back on topic here, videos. As I said, a lot of the videos that I see, actually most I see on YouTube, people have this fancy, expensive equipment that they use. And again, nothing against that whatsoever. I'm all for it if you can afford it. It's a wonderful thing to be able to have that kind of, equipment and tools. I don't have it. A lot of the videos, actually most of them that you see, are monetized. They're put on YouTube and they're publicized to the extent that they get 30,000-40,000 views within a day or two, which is great. But people make money off their videos on YouTube through ads, through product sales, that kind of thing. Again, nothing at all against that. And I will say this here and now, that is not what my videos are about. That's not what they're for. That's not my intention. My intention is to try to help anybody out there that wants to take time to listen to my crazy ramblings and watch the things that I do, how I do it, so on and so forth. But I will also be the first to stand up and say that, hey, if my videos become popular enough and it gets to the point to where I can make a few bucks, I'm all about that too. Times are hard, and this is something else too that I want to say here and now. This channel is not a political channel. I have my political opinions. I have my political views. I'm very firm in what I think and what I believe. But that's not what this channel is for. But I will say this. Considering the way things are in the United States, the way things are in the world right now, right this minute, I think it would be a very, very advisable thing for a lot of people that do not know how to grow their own food right now to start learning. Eggs, everybody knows about the eggs. eggs have gone sky high. I mean, they're through the roof. People who have backyard flocks, their own chickens, there's a lot of complaints out there that their chickens have stopped laying. They're not getting any eggs. There is various theories floating around online. The producers, the manufacturers, have either put something in the feed or taken something out of the feed to prevent the chickens from laying eggs. Is this true? I don't have a clue. I know my hens, I've got 9 hens at the moment, and I get 7 and 8 eggs a day every day. Nice big brown eggs. Do I feed my chickens feed that comes from Tractor Supply or any of the well-known chain stores? No, I do not. And we'll get into that in a later video about what I feed my chickens and so on and so forth. But anyway, there's a lot of points that I want to make. I can't make all of them in this one video. This is basically an introduction. Hey, this is me. What you see is what you get. I have a lot of good information that I think a lot of you will enjoy and be very useful to a lot of you. So I hope you come along on the journey with me. I'm pretty much retired for various reasons. And like I said, I sit here. I'm actually in my little shop right now where I repair CB radios. I run a mail-in repair business here, and people mail radios to me from all over the United States. I fix them, send them back to them. But other than that, I'm like everybody else. I got caught up in you got to work, take care of your family deal. And you know, in today's society, you pretty much do. You know, for the most part. But I had some things happen in my life that basically put me here at home. And while I'm here at home, working on my radios, my CB radios, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get the place back in shape. We have just under 13 acres, like 12.8 something acres. Mostly wooded. I'm in north central Arkansas. It's very, very rocky and not very good ground for gardening. So I'm in the process of putting raised beds together, that kind of thing. We do have a small greenhouse that we bought online. I'll be working in it. I'll be updating the fence around my chickens. Several things that need to be done that are going to have to be done on the property here. And I'd just like for you guys to come along with me and kind of join in with me in getting the place shaped back up and getting it ready to produce food for us again. It's that time of year. I'll be glad to answer any questions I can. You know, leave questions and comments. And I will say this, guys. I'm not an expert on anything. Do not claim to be. You will see me make mistakes on these videos. So with that being said, please, in your comments, no hateful comments, no bashing. None of that. If that starts, I will just disable the comments, and that'll be that. You know, I don't have time for it. I've got too much to do. I'm overloaded with work. I've got so much to do on the farm, or the place here, as I call it. I simply don't have time for people to be leaving negative comments. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer as many as I can, and I'll try to be as helpful as I can. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here now, cut this video kind of short, and hopefully here in just a few days I'll have another video.